Hey, what's up, pal Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good today on something I just feel like showing off my collection is going to be, you can probably see it back there. We got right there the Pokey Petite Pals. These are like little mini figurines. Like these are Virginia's. She found them at a thrift store at one point, and she has a bunch of them sealed. She opened up one of them, as you can see, Vaporeon, Pikachu, Pancham, little figures. They got little suction cups on the bottom, help them stick. Basically, just like little figures. You can make little houses and things like that. I haven't really seen too many people talk about them before. They're interesting enough. I thought, it'd be something interesting to show off. I think they're kind of cool. They're pretty neat. They're definitely something you don't see every day. Anyway, I want to talk about something that I'm sure a lot of people have seen. A lot of people have actually been asking me to talk about. Sorry about the last couple of days, too. I've changed my sleep schedule around twice, and I'm just getting back off that stuff, so I appreciate y'all being patient. Let's talk about Palworld. So, I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure anyone Pokemon related has been talking about it a little bit. I've seen tons of people in the Pokemon community playing it. I've seen tons of people actually enjoying it. I've seen people that are big fans of the actual survival game genre, which is technically what it is. Kind of plays a little bit like Ark or Rust or something like that. They have the materials you can gather, but the actual appeal is there's all these cool little creatures in it called pals. Like some of them do resemble a little bit of like Pokemon or something like that, but for the most part, they're their own kind of weird little thing. It's a little goofy. It's a little bit. It's not the best looking game that's ever made, but a lot of people do like it. The appeal of it. I mean, if you go look on YouTube, it's a Pokemon with guns, which is not entirely inaccurate when you actually look at stuff, but Palworld, right? So there's a lot of things. People are liking it. People are doing that stuff. The peak player count at one point was something stupid. I think it was like 1.8 million or something like that, which the only game at the time when I looked at it that beat it was PUBG, and PUBG was just an overnight, just that thing fucking blew up. It's going to be beat someday, but Palworld came pretty close to it, which is kind of nuts, and that's alarming. There's some people that are diehard Pokemon fans that are looking at this, and they don't really know what to make of it. There's people saying all kinds of stuff, like it's a shameless ripoff of Pokemon, that Pokemon's gonna end up suing them or something like that, or anything. And people have asked how I feel about it, so I'm just gonna lay it out real plain and simple. I haven't played it. I've watched Moist Critical, Penguin Zero play a good little bit where I can, like with streams when I'm doing work or something like that, kind of have it on as background noise. I'll look at it every now and again. So me personally, okay, like how I feel about it. I think if this actually sticks and it's doing well, because once again, it's an early access, more stuff is apparently supposed to come and all that. I don't think the game looks bad. I think it's filling a niche that a lot of Pokemon fans feel like Pokemon games haven't been able to fulfill lately. And honestly, the complaints, look, I love Pokemon, okay? It's no fucking question. You can look around and see that stuff. Pokemon's my thing. I'm going to play Pokemon games probably every single time they come out. I'm one of those guys. People are like, oh, Call of Duty games are the same thing every time we give them shit, bro. I'm going to do the same thing with Pokemon. I'm not even going to lie to you. I love the games. I love the characters. I love all that stuff. I'm going to be collecting the cards as long as I financially can, of course, without putting anything. If it gets too crazy, once again, I'll put a kibosh on. I'm not going to actually do it. But at the same time, while I can, I'm going to do that stuff. The Pokemon games lately, especially with Scarlet and Violet when it came out, received a bunch of criticism. And some of the criticism I don't really think is that valid, like Pokemon designs. You're allowed to have your opinion on it, okay? If you don't like certain Pokemon designs, that's okay for you. But to say like they're objectively bad is completely subjective. It's not like something that you can just be like, this one's bad, this one's bad. So many people hate Quaxley. So many people hate that little duck. I love Quaxley. Quaxley is probably one of the best starters in my personal opinion that's come out in a long time. I like Quaxley all the way to Quaquaval. I think that is an amazing starter line. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't like it, if that's okay. That's okay if you don't like it. I do. That's how I feel about that. And there's several Pokemon designs that have just come out lately. When it comes to like actual characters in Pokemon, we're at the fucking peak, man. There are so many good characters and so many good Pokemon designs. So many good things that Pokemon has done. It just, whenever the game comes out, it gets implemented so fucking shittily. There where people are just like, look at these graphics, look at the fucking texturing, look at the gameplay, look at like the lack of animations, look at just all the corners that are being cut. Look, I'm not saying Pokemon games are easy to make, okay? I completely get that. I understand 100% that it's not easy to make a fully fledged game. Pokemon, the Pokemon company, they make billions of dollars, man. The actual company that makes these games makes billions of dollars, okay? They can make these games good. Some of the things that people are complaining about, like the performance and all that shit, it's valid. Some of the things where Pokemon is just the same thing over and over again. Dude, the best thing Pokemon has done lately, in my opinion, is Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus was a fantastic game, and they cut corners on some of that stuff too. If they had focused on the environment, and I swear to God, Pokemon, if you're watching, if someone from there is watching and they give a fuck about what I have to say, So much would go into your games if you fucking started doing voice acting. If you just did some voice acting for your characters. Everyone loves the characters in these fucking games, okay? Everyone does. Even fucking haters of the game love the characters and love certain Pokemon. It's just when you look at the game and like, it's, dude, Black and White 2 had more voice acting in its game in fucking 2012 than games that are coming out now. Dude, I'm playing Batman Arkham City right now. How old is that game? 2011? 2012 too? Dude, that game holds up fantastically better. Like the graphics, the design, all the choices, man. And Pokemon has all these things. It's legitimate complaints. And I'm getting to that. I know I've bragged on a little bit. These are the same people that are getting fed up with Pokemon that are finding good things in Palworld. Is Palworld perfect? Absolutely not. There's several things that are still going against it too. It is still early access, and if they don't fix some of these things, like some of these glitches, some of these bugs, some of these crashes, or some of the things like that that have been reported, it hasn't been near as bad as like certain other things, but there are some things. If they don't deliver on new content, if they don't actually keep engaging with their player base, like it's gonna fucking, crash and burn too. I think this is good. I think competition in a space like this is necessary. And I think if Pokemon is actually looking at this stuff and they're getting a little bit on their toes, maybe they'll actually make some changes for like even legitimate Pokemon fans want, okay? Like, look, we're going to play the games. I like Scarlet and Violet. I like the DLC. I'm not going to lie though. It would definitely be better if like the graphics look better. It would definitely be better if the money was being put into it. It would definitely fucking be better if the characters were voice acted in a 2024 fucking game coming forward. Like that game 2022. Like look, no excuses. It could have happened. There's games that are fully voice acted. They want to like, in the overworld, do like the JRPG thing with like the text boxes, and then like for the cutscenes do voice acting. Perfect. Perfectly cool. Perfectly fine. Whatever. Cool. Several JRPGs do that shit. It's insane. And the fan base, like the Pokemon fan base that is just sitting there going like, Palworld doesn't need to exist. This is fucking just a shameless ripoff of Pokemon. This is the grossest thing I've ever seen. Bro, it's not that bad, okay? It's really not. They didn't just blatantly plagiarize Pokemon, in my personal opinion. Like, the whole creature thing and, like, the whole fucking all that stuff. Like, that's not something... You can't just fucking get a whole subgenre of game and fucking copyright it. That's why there's so many Battle Royales out. That's why there's so many fucking Souls-like games out. The Souls-like community is awesome. Every time a new Souls-like game comes out, like Lies of P, which that game was fantastic. Dude, everyone's like, oh, you like Lies of P? Oh, because you like Dark Souls 3? That's super cool. Hey, have you tried Remnant 2? That's like Dark Souls with guns. Have you tried... This game is awesome. Hey, have you tried this other one? Have you tried The Surge? Have you tried The Surge 2? Have you tried any of these, like, Souls... That community is so awesome. Like, Metroidvania community is basically the same, too. Oh, if you like this game, maybe you'll like Blasphemous. Maybe you like Blasphemous 2. Maybe you'll like Moon Souls or whatever, Dark Moon, or there's Moon Scars. That's what it was. Moon Scars was one that was recommended to me pretty recently. Hey, maybe you'll like this game. Pokemon community, man, like it is toxic. There is some definitely toxic people in it that are just like, bro, Pokemon is the best thing that's ever happened this whole fucking... Pokemon's not even my favorite game of all time. That goes to Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and then Paper Mario and Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. Okay, those are like go from there and put Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie in there too. Those are like my favorite games of all fucking time. I will always have a spot in my heart for Pokemon, but like, dog, there's nothing wrong going on with Palworld. There is nothing that needs... If you don't like it, that's perfectly okay. You don't like certain aspects of it. I don't love everything about it. I'll tell you that right now. There's certain things about it like, not my favorite thing. But it looks enjoyable. It looks fun. Looks like something to fill the void that Pokemon games haven't done. Pokemon. Some innovation needs to happen. You need to actually polish your games. You need to make this shit look good. I know animations fucking suck. I know, like, for all the different models and things like that, it would go a long way. It really would. Pokemon Legends Arceus is your coolest thing you've done anytime recently. I would love a new Shadow Pokemon game. I would love that stuff. And if you're focusing more on this big environment where you can go out and catch Pokemon, I love that idea. I love going out in the fucking world and assembling teams and having access to large amounts of Pokemon and things like that too. You gotta focus more on the environment. You gotta give people things more to do. You gotta give like some actual objectives in the actual overworld as well, other than catching Pokemon. Maybe some fucking really good crafting elements. Maybe like some quests to do. Maybe some NPCs you can do like little missions for. Maybe some actual boss Pokemon in the wild. Maybe some actual big things like... Dude, there's so many things you can be doing. Voice act your fucking cast. Polish these graphics. Do some things. Listen to what your community wants. Because a lot of people are disdaining what Pokemon has turned into. I still like the games. I find enjoyment with a lot of that stuff. The people complaining about it aren't 100% wrong, okay? There is some things that are kind of embarrassing when you look at these games, man. There's some really embarrassing things in 2023 when Pokemon games are coming out and it's like, ugh. It looks like a fucking GameCube. It looks worse than a GameCube game in some cases, right? Not everything is bad. There's still several good things about Pokemon, but like some of the criticism, y'all should listen to that shit. Y'all really should. A Shadow Pokemon game, that shit comes out, bro. You focus it up, you polish it, you voice act that shit. We get another badass character like Wes or something like that, dude. I'm all over it. I will be back flipping in my fucking seat, bro. 100%. Y'all could do it. I would really love to see it. Pokemon Company. We're in the grand age of Pokemon card art. Like, we're getting so many great arts, so many AR cards that just outclass special illustrations, man. We're getting so many of them that are good on Pokemon that never get the limelight. Lickitung's getting a fucking badass one. We're getting one for Excadrill. Excadrill is one of my favorite Pokemon. Dude, we are in the limelight for Pokemon art. The actual games, I don't feel like are meeting up to that standard. And Palworld, I think, it's filling a void that a lot of people are not happy with Pokemon games. And I think that's the most important part to take from this is coming from a place where people who like Pokemon aren't having their actual feelings met anymore. Their actual desires for a game, and not enough is changing for them. There's several things, man. That's all it is. I don't think it's bad. The whole suing, I don't think fucking Pokemon has a fucking lick of ground to sue on. It looks different enough to me. It's basically more like fucking Ark, if you really want to be technical. Like, it's not even like a real Pokemon-esque game. It's just got like cute little creatures and shit like that you can employ in sweatshops and fucking ride on them and give them guns. I mean, that's it, really. It's not really quite. That's how I feel. Feel free to let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. Let me know how you're feeling. There's no wrong answer to that stuff. If you feel genuinely how you do, hey man, go for it. I genuinely feel like the competition is needed. I feel like someone needs to kick Pokemon in the ass and get them to actually voice act some fucking characters, give us open world quests, give us NPCs that actually give us side missions and shit like that, give us big boss Pokemon in the overworld, give us actual things that we want as players, and just make those sprites look good, man. You have so many great characters, so many good Pokemon. There's so many iconic names in there. I don't think Pokemon's going anywhere, but you're definitely going to lose like a little chunk of the fan base if you don't listen. That's all I got. Appreciate it, virgins. Once again, let me know, and I'll try to get some more videos out. I do apologize. Thanks, guys.